A feral child is a child who has lived away from human contact from a very young age and has little or no experience with human care, love, social behavior, or human language. Feral children are confined by humans, often their parents, brought up by animals, or live in the wild in isolation. The lack of human contact, and most importantly, human language, causes them to develop entirely different from other children. In the 18th century, one of the very first cases of a feral child had been discovered. A 12-year-old boy named Victor was captured by scientists and taken into custody for evaluation. Victor was taken in by Dr. Attard, who taught him to do ordinary things, including speaking and reading. At the end of 5 years, Victor could identify some written words and phrases referring to objects and actions, and even some words referring to simple relationships such as big and small. And he could use word cards to indicate some of his desires. However, he did not learn to speak. There are many other stories of feral children recorded in history. Another case of a feral child is that of Oksana. This girl was abandoned by her alcoholic parents and lived amongst dogs for 5 years. These years that she was raised with dogs were crucial for her social and language development. Because Oksana didn't have human contact, she communicated through barking and walked on all fours just like dogs.
Genie, the most recent case of a wild child, has been the focus of many studies in the past. Genie was found in 1970, locked in a bedroom of her family home. Her father thought she was mentally challenged and isolated her for over 13 years. She was tied to a potty tray and left to sit alone day after day. Genie was a victim of severe abuse, neglect, and social isolation. Because Genie was isolated and rarely spoken to, she was the perfect candidate to test the theories of language acquisitions. Psychologists, linguistics, and psychiatrists were eager to observe Genie and perform exercises to test the theories. Genie underwent language testing and brain testing. Doctors are still unsure if it was because of Genie's mental incapabilities or a result of isolation that she was developmentally delayed. After her discovery, she was moved around about 3 times, even living with one of her teachers. While living with her teacher, she performed endless exercises for language development. Even after extensive language exercises, Genie was only able to put 3 words together. Genie's suffering continued even after being taken out of seclusion. Countless tests and theories being performed on her eventually took a toll on Genie. These vigorous studies and teachings started to become an ethical problem. Genie was unable to speak and physically could not express consent. Clinicians took advantage of her underdeveloped mental state and used her as a human guinea pig for studies into language development. They put the interests of science before the interests of Genie.